Hi Leo, this is your astrology and tarot forecast for October 2014. Thank you for joining me for this forecast. I'm going to give you a rundown of the energies via the astrology, and I will also draw a tarot card for you to give you an overall theme of the month. So the first thing that's happening this month is that the moon is in its first quarter on the 1st of the month and also on the 31st of the month. When that happens with a full moon, it's called a blue moon. There's no term for it with the first quarter moon, but it still means that this is quite rare and special, and it means that you'll find something quite meaningful to yourself, regardless of what theme that is in, but you'll have an internal experience at some point in October. The first few days of the month are really about creating a new routine for yourself by exploring your different options and talking about those. And that can be changing your hours, or that can be changing what you do every day. It can be making some changes, talking to other people and looking at your options. Mercury goes into retrograde on the 4th of October, and I've made a separate video on Mercury Retrograde. It's a similar phenomenon each time it happens. It means that communication becomes more difficult. And this Mercury Retrograde lasts until the 26th of October, and it's in the area of your family. So for you specifically, it may be that you struggle a little bit communicating with your siblings, with your parents, with your children even, and that you don't find it as easy to communicate your feelings there, in that area of your life. The full moon happens on the 8th of October, and that is a full moon in Aries, but it's not just a full moon, it's a total lunar eclipse happening on the south node of the moon. And this is about letting go of something and being done with something. And first of all, you know who you are. You're very much connected with your relationship at the moment. Communicatively, you want things to be well, but you're also looking for making things better all the time. So what I'm getting is that you feel secure enough in your relationship not to frantically have to search for ways of expressing yourself so that someone thinks you're wonderful, or that someone respects you or thinks you're this wonderful thing. There's a certain level of insecurity in that. Always having to reinvent yourself so other people think I'm special. It's exhausting. So you're able to let go of that to some extent. You're able to say, I'm special no matter if I speak super eloquently, if I use flowery descriptive language, or if I go, it doesn't matter. You're special regardless. And you start to realize that, which is fabulous. The 9th and 10th of October, you are really able to, that surrender and that acceptance of you as a special, unique creation really frees you up to explore other aspects of yourself and make you more confident. It's kind of a contradiction. It's like, if I really, really try very hard to stop drinking and I can't do it, I get nowhere. But if I surrender and say, I'm powerless over alcohol, for instance, then you get the strength to stop. It's a contradiction, and you say, I don't need to work so hard to be interesting and special all the time, and because you surrender to that and you say, I'm special anyway, more specialness arises in you, free of charge, effortlessly, easily. Perfect. The 11th sees Mercury going into Libra. And Mercury was in Scorpio before, and because it's in Libra, you become, again, you change. This is very much a month of changing your perspective in how you are. Am I someone who communicates for themselves, or am I someone who cares about what other people think of me? And on the 11th, the focus becomes a little bit more outward looking again, and you start to look at perfecting your communication again. And what I said before, don't do it, surrender, and things will occur naturally. It's when you work really hard to make something and you get really like, I've got to do it, then it's just, that's how it feels. And if you're like, whatever, then it's got a much easier flow to it, a much easier feeling, and that's much better. On the 13th, friendships are super highlighted. You do something with your friends, plan a party with your friends. You'll have a great time. And then finally, when the 15th of October comes around, you're going to be really intuitive, Scorpio. You're going to be communicating your divine spiritual messages on the 15th. You're a very outward looking sign. You don't have any problems talking to people. You like to communicate. And sometimes the spirituality and the psychicness of who you are gets forgotten because you're so ta-da, you know? You're so out there. You're so present. But really, your intuitive abilities are heightened on the 15th. Make sure the messages you get across are honored and valued by communicating them forward and by listening to them. That's the most important thing, really. Right, between the 16th and the 22nd of October, there's something interesting going on. You will want to... The communication thing is a theme all month, okay? But it becomes electrified somehow, and you're constantly wavering between confidence, so surrender, and making it happen. Surrender, making it happen. So it's back and forth, back and forth. And at some point during this week, between the 16th and the 22nd, you get a real gift from the universe that'll help you pioneer the way you talk. It could be that you, I don't know, you make YouTube videos and you decide to make a new type of video, or you tell stories at the campfire and you come up with a new story, but there's something new that develops within you. There's a solar eclipse on the 23rd of October. It's a partial solar eclipse, which looks like a crescent kind of moon, but it's a little sliver of the sun. It's in the North Node, and this really has a global impact. It affects governments and people in charge, and because it's in Libra, it means creating harmony and balance and peace between people. So please join me in my prayers when I pray that the governments are able to create some more peace in the world, the Middle East specifically, because if you think of a crescent and the Islamic crescent, you can kind of connect those meanings, and hopefully there'll be some more stability in that area of the world. It might actually be a good day to have a group meditation. I might consider that. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here. Right, 24th, Venus goes into Scorpio. Yes, it does. In your 4th house, so you love your family. You're really focused on spending time with your family around this time of the month. Okay. 26, it's a great time to go visit your mother, your father, or your grandparents around the 24th. It'll be wonderful and you'll have a nice time. On the 26th, Mars moves from Sagittarius into Capricorn in your 6th house. You're looking now, the focus shifts again, but you're looking at making your daily life better. You're looking at transforming your routine. If you commute 2 hours, you're going to look at moving closer so you don't have to commute that long. You're going to work really hard and be ambitious and driven to transform your daily existence, and you're successful in doing that. And then the final week of the month, so from the 27th to the 31st through until Halloween, that's a real theme for you. Also, make sure to connect with your family and to talk to them about how you can make your daily life look better. If you're unemployed, ask your family how you can find a job. If you're, like I mentioned, that commuting thing, speak about different options. Who do they know in a town that's nearer to your work, all of that stuff. But also allow yourself to dream the way you'd like it to be in an ideal world, because you can make that happen. I'm going to draw a tarot card for you now, Leo, to give you an overall theme for the month. Okay, and I've got the 8 of Wands in reverse. So what that means is there's a lot of information being exchanged back and forth, and you're really talking this month, and you're really looking at yourself in terms of communication. I've mentioned that a lot, the surrender and the trying really hard. It's going to happen quickly, and it's going to happen quickly the more hands-off you are. Know that you're special and confident and you can communicate, but don't try too hard because you'll block those divine inspirations coming through. So hands off, things will happen quicker than you can possibly plan them. Have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit my website, gregoryscott.co.uk. Send me an email, readings@gregoryscott.co.uk, or visit me on Facebook, facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Have a wonderful October, and I'll speak to you soon.